Y'all be on the gram, boy. Y'all be wilding on the gram, man. Y'all be stunting on the gram big time. For those of you who are on the gram, say we starting it. We are live 3 seconds in. Cool, cool. We can let people pop up in here in the chat real quick and get this going. We got people on the gram, so you know, my grammar is just easy to go live on the gram. People will pop up on the gram real quick and go live. But now we live on YouTube. I tell y'all to go live on YouTube because I get to see questions better. It's better for the gram. The audio is better. You know what I'm saying? What's up? What's up? What's up? We got Wayne. We got Flying Ryan. My day is good, man. As long as I get to come on here and chop it up, my day is real good. We got a few upgrades, so we're doing things different. If you are on the gram, I'm talking to my grammars right now, YouTube. If you are on the gram, I encourage you to switch to YouTube because that's where we're about to really get it in at. Mic sound clean. We changed a few things up. Listen, there's a reason why I keep going live. It's something I'm trying to perfect, and I think today we changed some stuff up. Somebody said they just left the gram. Appreciate it, Jamie. Do I think the coronavirus will influence our industry a lot? Man, let's talk about the coronavirus while people getting in. If you're on the gram, we about to go to YouTube, so make sure y'all check us out on YouTube. Let's talk about the coronavirus real quick, man, because I was planning to go to NAB, and I mean, NAB just canceled. I got a dirt cheap deal to Vegas, bro. I got a deal that was like $400. I got a room at the MGM Grand with a view of the Strip, a round trip flight, and a car for the low. Again, this is my last warning for my grammars. If you're on the gram, we about to go to YouTube with it. So make sure y'all log into YouTube. All right. See you guys on YouTube. See you later. So, yeah, I got a pretty good deal. Mexico, I was just out there. I was just out in Mexico. I was out in Cozumel. Loved it. Had a good time. Had a ball out there. The only live I tune into consistent. Hey, man, Austin, I appreciate that. Somebody say the virus is fake. It's affecting me at RN right now. I mean, listen, I don't know what to think about the virus, bro. I mean, I don't know. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't want to be one of the ones that jump out and be like this, that, or the other. I don't think it's Ebola. I don't think it's putting people down in 30 days. However, I think if you're older, you have a weak immune system, it may punch you in the mouth. How it's affecting our industry is a lot of camera manufacturers are pushing back release dates of cameras that's getting made over in China. It may affect iPhones. It may affect iPads. That's where it's really kicking butt right now. So, Lawrence, Connor, let's go with your question real quick because let's jump into a question. Is it okay to have your picture on your site for wedding videography? Yes and no. Man, I kind of covered this a little bit in the last video because it depends. There's a lot of variations, and I'm just going to be real with you. It depends where you are in the country. Certain people may not mess with you because you may not look like them. And if you're in that part of the country, then having that picture on your page could definitely affect your business. So it's something that you want to be mindful of and do some tests. I don't feel like for weddings it's a little different because the bride and groom, people buy from people, right? So they're people and they're buying from people. For company work, it doesn't matter to have it. When you go to a Comcast website, they don't. And you got a technician coming out, they're not gonna send you the picture of the technician. I mean, some companies are doing it for security purposes, but you don't care who's coming out. You just want somebody in the Comcast shirt to show up and come hook your cable up. You don't really care who's coming out, and that's the thing. You know what? Give me 2 seconds. Let's do this real quick. Hold up. Let's knock this out real quick. Plug this into that. And now we good. Give me a second, y'all. So that's something that's a big deal. Just say Italy here, yeah, that virus, man, y'all got the whole, from what we see, that's what I like about the internet. You can talk to people directly. You can talk to people directly and get their opinion about things. And yeah, y'all Italy, man, y'all looking like y'all on lockdown right now. From the outside world is looking at y'all like y'all on lockdown right now. Picture man. I feel you, Zero. Yeah, I mean, listen, when it comes to putting your picture on your site, and he was saying, you know, kind of F the races. Sometimes, listen, racism isn't always just the people who hate you. Sometimes it's just ignorance, or it's how people were brought up to not know any better. When I joined the military, right, we were alongside of people from South Dakota and West Virginia. And this will sound weird to you, right? But it was people who never really seen black people. Now that sounds like absurd. That sounds crazy. But I remember meeting people who was like, I've seen you guys on TV. And it wasn't that they had hate in their heart or didn't like other people. It was just that they never had the experience of sometimes just having a friend and sometimes just realizing that we're all the same. So everybody, you know, you got to be careful with that, because, you know, you got to talk to people, and you got to sell yourself. Not really sell yourself, but business wise, you know, it helps to have a product they can't refuse, and then they don't care about what color you are. I mean, think about it. I've shot weddings where I was the only black guy there. Like, y'all don't got no friends, no family that's black. You ain't have a teacher or nothing. Your mailman, nobody. But sometimes it be like that. You just gotta make a great impression, so that people realize, you know, everybody, you know, the idea or stereotype they may have is just different. You know what I'm saying? Everybody, when I go through Dinfos, I think it was like 2010. So Dinfos is a school, it's a department, what is it called? Defensive Information, something. Let me look up Dinfos. I tell you, Dinfos is a school you go to in the military that teaches you how to photography and videography. Dinfos is Defensive Information School. It's in Maryland. It teaches you about photography and videography, and it's pretty dope. In fact, here, I got some upgrades for y'all. Y'all ain't ready for this right here. Y'all not ready for this. Boom. So that's Dinfos. It is, they teach you just how to photography, videography, and there's others training there depending on what your job is in the military. So mine was combat documentation, which is 25 Victor. That's where I went to go to school. All right. There's good and bad in every color and every race. I totally agree. The goal is to make sure people don't just categorize everybody based off the stereotypes. So, but we are in we are in a place where our creativity can outshine that. So your skill set can outshine that. You just got to make sure you do what you do to put yourself in that position. What's an affordable source to learn how to produce 30 and 60-second promotions for restaurants? I'm gonna be honest with you. There's just not a lot of. I wish I can point you guys into every place where I can tell you where you can read to learn it, but this is just a wild, wild west right now. It's not like a dentist where if you go to school to be a dentist, there are decades of learning and books and schools that teach it. We just don't have that for this industry because it's so new. You got to think about it. 20 years ago, the only way you could make money as a cameraman was to be a cameraman for a news station, or you shooting a movie or something like that. Like video just wasn't something that was affordable even 20 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Like camcorders and stuff like that, but only big companies had commercials. Now we get to the point where video is affordable. So there isn't a lot of recent information on how to properly structure something like that, especially in the age of the time of internet. Even if you got a book about shooting commercials 10 years ago, it was probably for TV or at least cable. Right now for the internet, things are different. You kind of have to find a marketer in your area that does like SEO and things like that, and work with them on getting an understanding of what works for them, and then using your own almost like common sense to apply that to video, right? So someone who is building websites for a living can tell you that, hey, the average person spends 2-3 minutes on a website. Okay, my video can't be 12 minutes. I know that. Or if it's a younger audience, look at what younger people watch. So usually like the MTV generation is what the previous generation was called. It was fast, colorful, quick, snappy. So you got to make sure that your video within 30 seconds is like that. It's fast and snappy. And also pay attention to when you get on Facebook, pay attention to what stops you from scrolling, right? So when you're scrolling and whatever causes you to stop, pay attention as to why that causes you to stop. That's important and something that you can implement into your solution when you're providing a solution for a client. So, you know, Roderick Henry, good looking out on the super chat, bro. Good looking out. How do you go about event photography and on-site printing? Okay, so I'm gonna be honest with you. I try to stay away from on-site printing. However, we have the capabilities because we have photo booths that we run out when we do events, corporate events. I try to get a set amount of prints. Like, hey, you know, we're gonna do 300 prints for this price, like a cheaper price, and anything over we'll bill you for, and I'll just print right there on the spot. I bring an assistant, but I try to stay away from those. What I offer is, if you click in the link in the description, I go through a company called Shootproof, where I upload my galleries. I'll send a link to the company, and they can share that link with everybody that went to the event, and then people can purchase photos at a later time. Now, the good thing about Shootproof is I don't have to touch nothing, and they can get a shirt on a t-shirt, a teddy bear, a mug. They can get the shirt wherever they want to get it, and I make more money off of it. I make profit off of it. And all I got to do is just approve the crop. So just making sure that the crop factor is correct on the shirt that they're ordering it from. And then I make more money on top of a shoot that I did. So that's what I would suggest. And plus it's easier for the client, right? And the way I would usually push it to the client is, hey, instead of having this long line of people that's waiting for their picture to print out, instead of having all this table set up and all of this, allow us to send you the pictures within 48 hours, and then people can purchase or download. You can set it to download or set it so they can't download it, or you can set it where they have to pay to download it. And it makes things easier, and it'll keep your event smoother. And especially when it's an event that have, like, if it's a timed event where there's like a speaker and all of that, like, you don't want people in line for a speaker, you know, in line for 30 minutes while you're giving out awards. You want people to be able to sit down or take pictures, sit down, and get an email with a link to the pictures. So it's something that you can do. You can also, I used to send people to my website, and then they can click on member pictures or member login. And from that, they can go to different pictures. In fact, let me see if I still have it. If I still have the login available where people can go and customers can log in. Actually, I don't. Because I don't do a lot more of that. I used to have it where you can log in and see your pictures. And with Shootproof, you know, hold up. With Shootproof, it just makes everything convenient. You're not stuck figuring out paper and all of that crap. But appreciate the super chat, Roger. Good looking out. Let's see. Questions about finding your right market, Calvin. That question can't be answered until you determine what it is you want to do. Until you determine what it is you want to do. I wish I could answer that question. You have to know what your demographic is. I mean, not your demographic, but what are your 3 niches is. Niches. Wherever you are in the country, you're like, bro, you butchered it or you got it right, depending on wherever you are in the country. How do I learn how to produce videos from scratch? Transition editing, putting clips together. Thanks for the answer and the other questions, Rashad asks. That's a good question. Where can I tell you to go? Lynda.com is my favorite to learn video editing and filming. They have the best courses. You got to be careful with a lot of editing and video courses on YouTube because you pick up people's bad habits. I learned a lot, but I realized I didn't know what I was doing until I went to the military, and I learned how, like, by the book, how and why things work. So in my opinion, lynda.com was the only place that offered courses that was on that level. And they're like $20 a month. You can't go wrong with lynda.com. You can't go wrong. Oh, Matrix. Good looking out on the super chat. Is wedding photography dead? It's difficult, but it ain't dead. It's saturated. Listen, the easiest things for people to get into is portrait photography, wedding photography, and like household, like babies and dogs. So anything with a low bar is going to have a lot of people, right? So think about sports, right? Any sport that don't cost nothing to get into, it's gonna have mad competition. Basketball, all you need is one ball and a rim, and 10 people can play it, right? So sports that takes money, like lacrosse or ice hockey, usually have less people, less competition, because you got to spend more to get in. Basketball is just a ball in a hoop. Or like soccer is just a ball in some grass. So a lot more people on the planet play soccer, so it makes it a lot harder. Where wedding photography, it's a lot of people out here with a 50 to 300 f5.6 and a T2i that's getting into wedding photography that think they can do it. You know what I mean? So it's a lower bar of entry, right? Like everybody want to be a rapper because it take nothing but a pen and paper. And then it's less people that want to be a producer because you got to have a computer or a cell phone or whatever to make beats. So you always gonna have more rappers than producers because it's just easy to say, yo, I'm a rapper. It costs me nothing to think of a rap. So anything that's just easy to get, like when you start looking at harder areas of photography, like architectural photography or even like drone photography a little bit, even though the price of drones made it easier, the less competition you're gonna have. So being a corporate videographer is not a low bar of entry. You have to build a brand. You have to invest in that company, right? So you're not gonna have a lot of competition because everybody's setting up their stuff at Jim's Photography, and they wonder why Walmart won't do business with Jim's Photography. However, Walmart will do business with J Productions, same company, but one looks like a personal person, a personal brand, and one looks like an actual company. So, you know, you have to know what you're trying to do. You should know your 3 niches before you even before you think of the name of your company. Like you may pick 3 things and have to go back and rebrand your whole company just to make life easier around these 3 things. Because like I said, if you're into dog photography and you name your company, you know, Smiley Paws Pet Productions, that'll make it a whole lot easier than, you know, Ninja Kick Studio. Like Ninja Kick Studio, what do they do? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, so because you're Smiley Paws, people know Smiley Paws Photography or you know, creative, whatever. People can see your name and they instantly give you social proof and trust you and feel like you know what you're doing. And SEO purposes, all of that stuff help. So once you pick your 3 niches, you may have to go back and redesign your brand to be focused on those 3 things. I'm gonna go back up to A-Lot. Good looking out. Hey man, good looking out on the super chat, bro. I'm starting to notice some of y'all names. Like, okay, I know you guys. I'm starting to notice some of y'all names. What does my company struggle with the most? It's a good question. What do we struggle with? We're kind of picky. We're kind of selective on who we work with. And it takes some time before you can get that way. But we struggle. There's always the struggle with redefining and getting better at communicating with clients in a way where it's universal, right? So you want to create a process so that people can come in, say what's on their mind, and we can translate it into what we do consistently, right? But that changes from industry to industry, from business to business. That's another reason why it's important to focus on 3. But for instance, we do promo videos for companies, right? Sometimes we get smaller people. Like we had recently a lady who, she has a company and she has the money to invest in it. Like it's like a real estate style company. She got the money to invest in it. However, we're dealing with a person instead of a company. So deadlines are different. Certain things are a little more loose. Companies tend to be like, you do it, just tell us what we need to do. People tend to go back and forth with you with their personal ideas, which could sabotage the video or make things less effective. And it's because they're making more emotional decisions than logical decisions. And that's sometimes the conflict in making sure that we have a platform where our customers, we can ask them the same thing over and over again and get the same results from them as far as the level of communication. So that's what we struggle with. And that's something that we continue to improve from customer to customer. So, Parker and Parker said they use ShootProof for websites, but don't like the interface. Any other recommendations or any recommendations for other service providers? I used to use SnubHub or something. I didn't really like it. ShootProof to me worked. Plus they had it where you can download an app where the users can log in and download an app with all the pictures from their event. And it was free. And it was something that I used as a selling point compared to my competitor. So, Joshua, do you think it's beneficial to pay to be a part of the Better Business Bureau? And what are your thoughts on companies like Legal Shield? I think they're all BS. I'm not paying somebody to tell somebody that I'm good. I think that's an old school way of thinking. It's about as old as Yellow Pages. I'm not a fan of the Better Business Bureau. I had somebody leave me a review that wasn't the greatest, but that's not why I'm not a fan of the Better Business Bureau. When was the last time you when was the last time you looked at the BBB before you bought something or used the company? You probably have never done it. And if anybody that's under 55, they probably barely even know what the Better Business Bureau is. So they're sitting back collecting money from people just to say you're great. Meanwhile, most of my clients go to Google and they look at my reviews on Google and that's all they need. So I'm just not a fan of the Better Business Bureau. Don't waste your money. Let's see. What is my thoughts on mobile video photography? Can't afford a DSLR camera, but still want to produce good content and make money, or better still, market myself. Mobile photography is a tough push for money. It's great for free. You probably can go shoot some stuff to build your portfolio for free. It's hard to show it with a camera and make money. Now, that will be changing in the future. Just like it was in the past, you would get laughed at to show up to film something with a DSLR. That's changing in the future big time. Big time. Shoot, Move, Communicate Films. I like that name. Anybody that's military definitely know about that. Shoot, Move, and Communicate. That was in a run-in to be named my company at some point. SMC, Shoot, Move, and Communicate. I like that. What are my thoughts on producing documentaries only, but also using videographers in other states and countries? I'm okay with outsourcing. Completely okay with it. It's difficult to make money in documentaries. It's just difficult. You need to have a lot of upfront cash because you need to float the thing until you can get a return off investment. Unless somebody's bringing you in and they're paying you to cover their documentary, then it becomes a little easier. However, it's a tough pill to swallow. It's a tough game to be in. It's just difficult to get an instant return. Even when you work with businesses doing T30s, which is 30-day turnarounds, and T60s and T90s, it's rough. With a documentary, you got to film all of it, which can take up to a year sometimes for it to go and you make money. It's just rough. It's hard. I wouldn't risk. I'm not going to say I wouldn't wish it on nobody, but it's just a difficult place to be. If you're that comfortable and you're getting $90,000 for a documentary, then it's worth it. If you're getting $5,000, then it's not. That's just my opinion. Is portrait dead? I see a lot of portrait photography all doing the same thing. Fabio asks. Nope. You just see a lot of people who are too lazy to be creative. You see a lot of people who aren't trying different things with lights. They aren't trying different things with locations. They're just watching people like Manny Ortiz, which I love, and then they're just going out replicating it and asking to get paid for it. Meanwhile, the iPhone is catching up with their ability to blur out backgrounds. And they're just going to be out of business soon. They're going to be picture man soon. You got to beat that iPhone, ladies and gentlemen. You got to be able to whoop that iPhone. If you can't whoop that iPhone or produce pictures, you can't outthink the software or outshoot the software, you will not make it. You will not make it. Just FYI. Kobe Real Films. Good looking out on the super chat. He said, I'm a huge sports fan. I'm getting into sports photography and videography. I want to touch base on multiple sports. Do you think I should go with one sport and perfect that niche? Yes, go with one sport. I'm gonna give you a quick tip. If you are into sports photography or videography, please pay attention. Listen, if you get one sport down and go, depending on where you are in the country, certain sports are bigger than the other, right? I'm in Texas. Football is God. If you go and you perfect high school football, you have a team on both sides of the field that got 50 players, sometimes more, 80 players, and each player got 2 parents, and that is your ideal client. You can go out and sell stuff to their parents, video clips, photography. You have a ton, and I mean a ton of customers that are filling up stands that you can target and go after. Maybe get with the school and sponsor something. You know, it's open eating season, hunting season for you if you're good at what you do. Plus, you have students that want to see pictures. They want to tag people in pictures. They want to download pictures. I knew guys that had blogs. They would go out to, this is all they did. He would go out to a high school game, take pictures, post them on his blog. He would sell merchandise, and he would put advertisement on that blog, and he would give people the ability to download and buy that picture for $1. And he made a living doing this. All he got was the clearance from the school to come shoot it. He provided the school with a few clips, a few pictures, and he would go to every school he could and make a living like that. So that's just an innovative way of thinking. You have to be innovative with this market. You can't do exactly what the last guy did 5 years ago. You have to be innovative with it. There's a lot of, oops, I got to go back up. Rashid said there's a lot of restaurants in my area that want to make commercials for YouTube. I agree. You learn how to manage YouTube ads and make money off managing that as well. Shoot the commercials for them. Shoot multiple commercials. I mean, the thing is this. If it's a restaurant that cater to older people, right? You know what older people, or you have an idea of what older people like in videos. Look at what they watch. Slower shots, slower pans, things like that. You want to make sure that you have that video that cater to what older people like. Definitely. Oh, just FYI, we make sure we got this popping so y'all can know, because I get a lot of people that ask about it. And they always ask about, I want to make sure y'all know we're going into the boom, bang, pow. All right. So let me go over a few more questions here. R. Curry said, what's the best advice you can offer for one to improve their videography skills, shooting and editing? It's cliche, but what are your thoughts? It's really simple. It's the experience. It's the experience. Go shoot for free. Going to shoot for free would be more valuable than, because you're building a portfolio and you're getting the experience. Shooting for free is the most valuable thing you can do. It's much better than sitting down and just watching a course. Go and shoot. Because customers are going to push you and pull you in ways you can't imagine right now. So shooting, you'll develop that skill set. No problem, Parker. Let's see. iPhone 11. It's hard, man. You got to outshoot that iPhone. G. Michael, he said, I'm a retired Marine. I'm getting the VA to pay for me to go to film school. Any suggestions? Online is Uncle Sam's money, and they're going to pay for some decent equipment. The only company that's giving you good equipment to start off with is Full Sail. But I can't, how can I say this? Look into like Institute of Arts, like depending on where you are, like Dallas Institute, Philly Institute. Look into those schools. Those schools provide a little bit more, but they require a lot more. That's probably your best bet. How do you prep to work with a client that's too busy to get a good production day out of them, and the idea of what they want out of a video? If a client is too busy to If a client is too busy to have time to shoot, you're not charging them enough. It sounds weird, but when they pay $10,000, trust me, they'll stop doing what they're doing to make sure they can shoot with you. You're not charging them enough. Listen, people, you got to get, all right, if I create a course, right? I'm going to be real with you. It's just the law of whatever. If I create a course and I gave it away for free, 90% of people wouldn't take it, or they'll just skim through it. I can't get proper feedback on a course that's free. If I charge you $1,000 for that course, you're going to go through every single line on that course. You're going to watch because you're invested, right? So people who invest, they're going places. They want to be there. This is important to them, right? So you want to make sure, and people who invest $100 are going to be a little more tentative than people who invest $20. I remember watching a public speaker who said that they taught people how to go from broke to millionaire, right? So they taught how to flip houses. Now they would have these events and they would invite their family out to every event, right? And these are events that people paid $600 to get into. Their family would get into it for free. Now, one family member paid attention enough to start doing this and start flipping houses and making money. However, there's tons of people that paid $600 that paid that money, and they were like, I'm going to pay attention to every line. I'm taking notes because I spent my money and I'm here to learn. So if they're not invested enough in the project, they won't have time for it. You have to make sure that they are invested in the project. You're not charging enough. Sometimes if they're already paid and you're already in that situation, sometimes you got to say, hey, you got to have a contract that states that we can only make 2-3 appointments. After that, you lose your money. And then that'll make people wake up a little bit and say, hey, I don't want to blow this, whatever they charge, that $200, whatever they charge. I don't want to lose it because I can't make time. Let me make time. So you want to be reassuringly expensive. You got to be. Good looking out, Curry, on the super chat. Do you think getting into this business in early 30s is too old? Oh, I love this question. Me. Hell no. Hell no. It's not a young man's sport. It's not this stuff it's enough money out here for everybody. It ain't going nowhere. You may appeal to a more older client instead of somebody that's 21 coming in and the dentist like, I don't know about you. You may look like you got 20 years of experience on day one just by I'm trying to get more grades. My grades ain't coming in fast enough, bro. I'm trying to get the pepper look. That's more money. You can go into a place looking like 20, 30 years. People just trust you if you got more grades. If you're older, it's hard. Like, it's like going to buy a car, right? It's hard to buy a car from somebody who can tell you this car drives great and you're 18. You've been driving for 2 years, bro. How you gonna tell me what a great car drive like? Like, you know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to sound like Mr. Get Off My Yard, but bruh, I've been driving anyway. I'm gonna go there, but you know what I'm saying? So being older is not a bad thing. Not at all. Go for it. Definitely go for it. So Flying Ryan say, my old man tell me, take a little money for everything you do nothing for free. I've explained I can recover for free. You got to. Because think about it. Like, you got to think about it like this. What you're getting paid for shooting for free, right? By having the ability to, if you go into a building and they've spent millions making that building look good, you kind of like stealing that for your video, right? I'm stealing the look of this place for my video. And because this place looks so good and I got my video that's dope, it's going to help me sell to higher end clients because they're looking at $1 million worth of stuff on my video. And they're just thinking like, wow, that's who he's working with. So you're paying yourself in the future by using their facility. It's like if you could shoot a music video in a mansion, shoot it instead of somebody your friend's house. I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's the equivalent of that. Just being in that mansion is going to make whatever rapper that's rapping about money look like they got money compared to being in a house down the street. You can't rap about I'm getting money and your house is little. But if you rapping about I'm getting money, I don't care if you're throwing fake hundreds. People won't even they'll see the hundreds and won't even think fake if you're doing it in a mansion. A lot of rappers wear fake jewelry because you don't question it. They wear fake Jordans, fake shirts, fake Gucci because you don't question it, because you assume they got money, right? They don't. When people see your video of this beautiful place, they're going to assume you're doing big video. That's what you want them to do. So they can't come to you nickel and dime you. You see that video? Don't nickel and dime me, bruh. So, I mean, that's something that you have to think about. And that's how you pay yourself, by shooting for free. It's just it's just the law. I tell people all the time, like, I used to have friends that they spent a lot of money on clothes, but they had a raggedy car. If I'm getting out of a nice car, you don't care what my clothes look like. I can be in a t-shirt and some Wranglers. It doesn't matter. You see the car, nobody questions your clothes or getting out of a nice car. However, the guy at the bus stop, all fresh and fly, looks really dumb. You feel what I'm saying? So you want to make sure you go into a location that's beautiful, and you want to capture all of that location and all of the money they put into that location. Definitely. All right, let me get to some more questions because I had a few more pop up. Let me see. Do I think we're getting new products from Blackmagic sooner than later, since CES 2020 is canceled? Usually Blackmagic pop off during NAB, and that's canceled. So I don't know. I don't think they're going to wait till the end of the year. But you got to realize a lot of these parts the stuff is being manufactured in China. So it may be getting held up anyway. Even though Blackmagic is located in Australia, I don't know where their parts are at. Their parts could be, the cameras could be getting assembled anywhere. Most of the times, manufacturing is in China. So that could be the holdup more than anything. And Blackmagic don't want to continue to be in a situation where they're promising cameras that don't get to people until next year. They like to start working on them, start having them halfway made, so they can say it's available next week, and then all the manufacturers or all the resellers got 50 cameras. So, something to think about. What expense do you have to, this is what Rex on Max, the Rex on Max, I don't know if I'm saying that right. What expense do you have to pay for your business that you feel like is the best investment for your company? And which do you pay for, things that you pay for that you need to hate? I hate paying for insurance. I just hate paying for insurance. That's just me. But you got to do it, especially event insurance. What do I pay for? That education is the number one thing. Mostly education. I outsource, like, one thing, a video. I'm getting ready to do a video with a company called Video Husky, where we've been outsourcing editing. It's been brilliant. It's ridiculous. These guys are fast. They're quick. I don't have to worry about it. It's been wonderful. I'm working with them now to try to put some things together for you guys to see if I can get you guys like a discount on it if you want to do it. But it's a lot of stuff you can outsource. You ain't got to be good at everything. You can outsource a lot of stuff. The good thing about outsourcing is you have set prices. You know how to roll it into your price. And you know what level of quality to expect. So don't be afraid to outsource it. You ain't got to do everything. Outsource some of that stuff. I used to do a lot of outsourcing with wedding photography. I'd outsource it to a company in India that would edit all my wedding pictures instead of me going through 10,000 pictures. They would go through all of them and edit them while I'm asleep. And it cost me like 6 cents a picture. It's a no-brainer. I know that I'm going to take 3,000 pictures with 6 cents times 3,000. Add that to the price of the wedding photography. Boom, bang, pow. Now I can shoot it and go home and go to sleep and upload the pictures. And they'll be back to me with a hard deadline instead of me trying to edit them in between of doing other stuff. You want to work on your business, not in your business. Very important. Let's see. 72. Okay, Ag, 72 hours for clients to review, or they get charged a new review after 72 hours. I think somebody asked, maybe I missed a question about reviewing stuff. It honestly depends on how much I like the client, but I usually give them enough time to edit things and get back to me within a short time frame. You gotta put a time frame on it, because clients will hit you up 6 months later asking for reviews. Nah, bro, you're gonna have to pay. You're gonna have to pay. I don't even got your footage most times. Let's see. So Joshua asks, he asked about the Better Business Bureau. He asks, would I be open to reviewing and critiquing websites live? Oh, I got something coming for you guys that I'm going to do a lot of that. Demo reels, websites, the whole nine. Somebody in the Caribbean, I wish I was there. Kyle in the Caribbean, he said, what are my thoughts on production companies offering content in return for content from other production companies asking for myself? It depends. If they got something that need to be shot out where you're at and you got something that need to be shot out where they at, then yeah, but stock footage is kind of killing that relationship between companies. You know, it used to be a time where somebody would call us up and be like, hey, we need to get some beautiful shots of downtown Dallas. We're here in Omaha and we need footage for a client, blah, blah, blah. But now they're just pulling it on stock sites and paying $20 and they're not talking, you know what I'm saying? They're not going to pay me $2,500. So, you know, that's a relationship that's weird. And it was weird. It's just not happening as much. Let's see. Pluto, yeah, you caught us this time. You got the live chat. Fire Sleeper said, I want to give more to my clients. How do I become a better social media manager? When you say give more, what do you mean by give more? More content? Give them smaller bites. Give them smaller bites. I'm gonna give you an example, right? I want to post more videos on my YouTube channel. But there's a bottleneck in creating a video, which is called editing. Even though I'm in the process of outsourcing it, live works better for me. The downside is the videos don't rank. I don't reach people who are not already on my page. That's the hit I take. The upside is people who do follow me, my diehards, those that believe in what I'm talking about, I get to reach them, talk to them, help them. But it doesn't help the channel grow. So I got to continue to produce content in order for the channel to continue to grow. It's just life. So, you know, you got to figure out the workaround when it comes to providing content for your social media channels. Behind the scenes footage works a lot and it can be captured on a cell phone and it can look real analog or rugged. It don't have to be perfect. Don't have to be perfect. Yogi Fish, good looking out. I appreciate the super chat. KVSC TV, I ain't forgot about you. How would you suggest monetizing a YouTube channel based on interviews? Interviews with who? Interviewing those is kind of hard because it's all about the guest, right? It's all about the guest. Unless you get to the point where you're Howard Stern, right? Howard Stern, don't matter who he's interviewing. The Breakfast Club, don't matter who they're interviewing. You have to have really good guests or guests within the niche that you decide to be in. So that's something that you, it's difficult to monetize. I wish I can tell you there's a way to do it, but it's difficult to monetize. Lee James Young said, I guess I won't ask you about ACES, Color Science, and DaVinci Resolve since I outsource it. I do a lot of editing and color grading. It's just that the bottleneck in what I do, I can sit down and I can record 10 YouTube videos in a day. I got so much crap going through my head and so many things that I take notes on during the day that I can easily sit down and record it. It will take me 4 hours, 3 hours to edit it. So if I can shift that somewhere else, I can get you guys way more content. Plus, I'm trying to finish the master courses. I'm trying to do a lot. So that's, you know, I love to edit. I love the color grade. It's just fun to me. But because of the business and the growth of the page, it's better for me to do that. Flying Ryan. Who Fabio did the math on that. Okay, good looking out. 180. He did the math on the 6 cents per 1,000 video when it comes to wedding photography. The cost is 180. You're correct. And what are you charging for wedding photography? It better be bare minimum $1,500. Bare minimum $1,500. Unless it's a 1 hour, you know, courthouse, I may do it for like $1,000. So Gene said, it took over 5 years getting my business to a point where I can really have a great living. What's your opinion on that? What would you recommend doing to someone starting up? Marketing. Most people start up, they just want to do everything, right? So they spread money thin. Marketing doesn't work like it should. They feel like the industry is saturated. They feel like it's too many people doing it. They feel like ain't nobody buying it, and then they fade back and then they struggle forever. Instead of saying, I am a high school lacrosse photographer. I'm going to go after every mom and dad with a kid in lacrosse in my area. I'm going to be the best at it. I'm either going to charge a few people a lot or charge a lot of people a few. But I'm going to make a living at that, and I'm going to market at that. I'm going to go on Facebook and create an ad that says, hey, is your son and daughter in lacrosse? We can cover the event, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to make sure that everybody who likes lacrosse on Facebook sees my ad. Everybody who follows the lacrosse high school page in my area sees my ad. And I'm going to go after that. I'm going to spend my $50 on those 300,000 people in my area, and I'm going to get clients out of that instead of trying to do everything. That's what I would suggest people do. Let me scroll back up because I missed the super chat. Yogi Fish, respect your, hey man, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Bro, this channel's hard to do. It's people like you that, man, I appreciate it. It's a lot of work. Stuart, who do I recommend for video editing outsource? I like Video Husky right now. I'm on my second project with them, and if it wasn't for me, I got a video coming on it, but I don't like to speak on stuff unless I've used it for paid gigs. There's a link in the description that gets you like 30% off your first month, but I like Video Husky. So Video Husky is like $500 a month, which sounds outrageous, but come on, 2 jobs will pay for it. 1 job will pay for it. You should be charging at least $500 for editing. If you can get 2 jobs and divide it to $250 a piece and not have to do editing or color grading or nothing, man, that's crackhead price. That's crackhead. In the hood, we call it crackhead. When you see a guy running with a TV and he stop and he look both ways and he give you a price that's ridiculously low, and you like, yeah, bro, I'll take it. That's what they're doing. Check out the link in the description. Video Husky. Safe House Studios. He just saying I'm doing a great job. Hey man, I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate y'all for tuning in, man. You know, I gotta look. I don't even know how many people in right now because I got the screen all blocked up. I think I got like 200 people. I appreciate y'all tuning in whenever I go live. I like to go live randomly, but we're getting a schedule in order. So please believe it. Please believe it. We're definitely getting a schedule in order. Let me pop that up for y'all because I got people on the gram. Okay. What do you use for contracts and invoices? Oh, my boy, official Ricky Boughton. That's a good friend of mine. Make sure you follow his channel. He said he shoots sports with a 50 millimeter, and he a beast. He also got access to like big lenses. If you go to official Ricky Bobby, listen to me. The official Ricky Boughton channel, he was on a video that I did where we shot the Cowboy game. He does sports photography. He was another combat photographer in the Army with me. That's my right-hand guy. Actually, he was just out here in Dallas. We went and checked out an XFL game, but he does a lot of sports photography. He's getting ready to launch a new YouTube channel called Shoot Better Sports. So those of you who sports is your passion, he's going to be the guy that's going to come at you with the same angle I'm kind of coming at you, teaching you the back end as well as the front end of sports photography. I got to make sure I get that channel, send it to me so I can send people over to it and they can start to subscribe. Because if you're into sports, he's going to bring it and show you how to do everything. All right. Let's see. ST Photography says, what do you use for contracts and invoices? Well, we use our own contracts we have here, which is our contract pack, of course. We use that along with Proposalify because I like live contracts. I like to send a contract to a person and know when they're looking at it and what they're looking at. I don't just send a blind email no more and they telling you, they spinning you like, oh, we haven't got it, and they really just don't want to do business with you. I like using Proposalify because it tells me that they spent 20 minutes on the freaking budget page instead of the contract page, because that tells me that price is a problem. Plus it notifies me as soon as they open it. So guess what? I can call them while they got it in front of them, and I can answer any question they have instead of them putting it on the back burner and I don't hear about it and they don't want to go with me but can't remember why they don't want to go with me, and I can't overcome their objections. So that's why I like Proposalify. That's what I use. It's $20 a month, worth its weight in gold. There's a link in the description for that. So somebody asked, John asked Ricky Bowden, what sports are you using the crop sensor? Kind of using both, crop and full. Sports, you kind of crop works for to your advantage in sports. But I'll get his information and I'll post his new channel. Ricky, if you're still watching, shoot it over to me via text and I'll post it. Controlled Chaos, is that how you do? Am I doing that right? Good looking out on the super chat. First off, let me ask you a question. I think I had somebody that was right before you. Let me double check. Media Truth, I'm gonna get to you in 1 second. Man, I got a bunch of questions. Okay, Control. He said, what's the best way to break into the market? I'm a portrait photographer and I'm struggling with marketing myself. Seniors, family engagement. Again, you're in that really crunched up area of everybody's trying to do it, low bar of entry. You need to specialize in seniors, family, and engagement. It's so hard to market to all of them because that's everybody, right? That's everybody. That's every single person in the world. You don't have enough money to spend $1 billion to market to everybody. So specialize in one thing. Say, I'm going to be the best senior photographer on the planet and dedicate your site to just that and go ham that time of year, offer ridiculous specials, you know, maybe a senior Christmas package or a senior Halloween package, or, you know what I'm saying? Focus on one thing and kill it. Don't do everything. And then be the best at it and be a high end. I've seen senior photographers make $500-$600 a shoot, $750 a shoot, $1,200 a shoot. I've seen it, but that's all they did. And if you decide that that's what you want to do, make sure you're the best at it. Go get the best props. I've seen somebody sell a big old Barbie box, wooden Barbie box that girls can take pictures in for $100, but they had a ton of stuff because they were the best at it and they charged $1,200 a shoot. But when you do everything, it's hard to get in the game doing everything. Hard. Jamie said, what are the top 3 things you would say help me to become the creative genius that I am? I didn't call myself creative genius. One is I spent a lot of money on crap that didn't help me. Just the experience, working with people, great communication, talking to people. Why didn't you choose me? If a client don't choose you, you got to learn. Either I'm gonna close the deal or I'm gonna get better. I'm gonna learn why I didn't close the deal. You need to call them people up and say, hey, just curious why you didn't choose. Not confrontational, like, hey man, why you ain't choose us? You got to just, hey, you come up with an email and say, hey, we're just wondering why you went with someone else. It could be price. If it's price, that don't mean lower your price. That means show more value. You didn't show enough value. You didn't show why you were better than the competition. It could be anything, your schedule. It can be, we didn't hear from you in time. We just forgot about you. All those things teach you something. Hey, I need to send more follow-up emails. Maybe I can do something automated. Hey, I need to have a process to follow up with them to make sure we answer all the questions. Hey, if they seem interested and it's over this amount, listen, with FlashFilm Media, if you're interested and I know the budget is going to be over a certain amount, I set up an appointment with you. I'm going to show up to your company and say, hey, let's sit down and talk about this. If it's a $10,000, $20,000 job, I'm going to go there and sit down and talk to you compared to other people that's just calling you. I'll show up in uniform and we can go from there. So you got to find out why people aren't buying from you. You should always be doing that. Always. Let's see. I got to get to a few more super chats because I'm kind of behind. Brandon Lee Cook, good looking out. How can you make money in shooting Boudoir and models? Most models want free photos to post on Instagram, regardless of the quality. Where can I find models? Brandon Lee, Booty Photography. No, I'm joking. There's a video I did on that says stop taking pictures of people. Check out that video. It kind of touches on that. Boudoir is hard for a guy. It's easy for women. If you're a female photographer, you should be making a killing there if that's your thing. It's hard for guys because women think guys are creeps. And a lot of them don't feel comfortable laying across the bed with you taking pictures. It's just difficult to get into. Not impossible, just difficult. Think more of lifestyle photography. Think more of product photography. Think more of, do a different type of headshot, right? Offer an executive package of headshots that's out in the park instead of the gray background. Twist it a little bit. Add a little something different to it because you're in an area where everybody's in. It's 1,000 people. It's what we call a red ocean. It's just a lot of people in that area. That bar of entry is really low, so everybody wants to be in that field. You have to do something unique in that field. R. Curry, I've been waiting to update my DSLR to either a Canon EOS R or a Sony A7. Any thoughts? Depends on what glass you got. Depends on what you're coming from. Whatever lens you got, you can't go wrong either way right now. Canon was behind. They've caught up. I would wait to see what they both. It's time for both companies to release something new. NAB should have been that time. If you're doing video, if you're doing just video, go with a video camera. Go with a Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera. Go with some type of video camera. Keep the camera you got for pictures if it's a DSLR. Pictures aren't really upgrading. Video is. That's just my opinion. Little Pop Studios is in Mississippi. He's shooting a commercial for a major bank in the state. What is the average range in your area for corporate videos? Wondering how to create a price chart just to hand over to clients. It's different per area. What you may charge in Mississippi will get laughed at in LA. You know, what you would charge in New York is going to be completely different than what goes on in Ohio. If you have good videographers in your area that's not funny or stingy, they may be able to help you a little bit better. If it's a bank, you know they got money. I'm not saying charge them $200,000, but be reassuringly expensive. Leave that job comfortable. You should be able to update your lenses and maybe a body or two. Don't go in there hating life because you're only getting this amount. Go in there happy to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning because you're getting that amount. That's all I'm saying. So definitely. Okay, say appreciate me going live a little earlier. I'm going to have a schedule out real soon. Real soon. Let me scroll down real quick. Media Truth. He said, I appreciate your content. As combat photographer, a part of the Signal Corp 31R. Yes, Signal Corp. In the military, it's Signal Corp. You can talk about us, but you can't talk without us. It is a 25 Victor. 25 Victor. Again, if you look up the official Ricky Bowden, he had a channel that was dedicated to 25 Victors. Really dedicated to Army life. And he was a Victor, so he can speak on what that's like if you decide to go in that area. So look up the official Ricky Bowden, and you'll see just life in the military in general. I joined the military late. I didn't join young. I joined at like 28. I didn't join the military at 18. I made some life choices and was like, man, screw this. I'm grabbing the steering wheel and I'm going in a whole different direction. So I joined the military at 28. I didn't join at 18. It was a different experience than somebody who came right out of high school who never been away from their family. I was grown with a kid. So it was just different. You know what I'm saying? Like it's, you know, it was different. So Becky said, I always read that you can only earn a lot when shooting weddings and portraits. I don't like doing that. Is only product photography a good idea to start with? Yeah. You know what I mean? People post new stuff on Amazon and need pictures. You know how many mom and pop shops in your area that got cheesy pictures? Go into a local restaurant and look at their pictures and bring it to their manager's attention. Like, who shot this? Oh man, can I shoot one dish for free? And if you like it, you can pay me to do the rest. Go do that. Shoot the first dish for free. See what they think. And then before you shoot the dish, go find you a food prepper in your area, a food stylist in your area. I'm sure there's one. Get that food stylist and work together with them. Say, hey, come do this job with me. We can do the first one for free. If they like it, you get paid, I get paid. If not, we just build our portfolio. And we build our relationship working together. That's what I would do. Definitely. Let me scroll down a little bit. You know, after what happened the other day with the audio going out, I try to scroll down and make sure I stay up to date with the feed. Keep it on Wednesdays if I can. You said, I'll take that day off. Wednesdays is probably going to be today. It's going to probably be today. If you're doing films, the easiest to sell on a tight budget is horror. Tony said that is correct. Horror, for some reason, horror movies are the only movies that can have a boom mic. It can be cheesy as I don't know what, and people are still like, yeah. If it's anything, you can't do a love movie like that. Anything else, people ain't having it. So, yeah. What's my take on producing features within a niche market, such as zombie, for example, and selling it to a niche producing multiple films and offering it to marketing and making a living doing this? Okay, so the game has changed a little bit, like when it comes to that, right? Because you can go straight to Amazon with your movie and play it on Amazon and make money off of it. You can go straight to Vimeo on demand and make money off of it, right? You don't have to produce it and go to a distribution company. Them days is over with. Stop letting them cats eat off you. You can take your budget and market your own movie. So what I would do is I would go to either Vimeo on demand. You can even go to YouTube and sell movies now. And I would market the trailer using your money and get people to either like it, watch it on Amazon Prime for free. If they're a Prime member, you get paid. Purchase it on Vimeo demand or watch it on YouTube. So an idea that I was thinking about that you can steal and use was coming up with a web series, like a 6-part web series, right? Offering the first 5 episodes on YouTube and then maybe selling the 6th episode. If you support it, if you watched all 5 and you like it and you want us to make more, you can buy the last episode for $10 or whatever. You know, that'll get people hooked. They like it. They want to see the last one. You make money off of it. Boom. You got money to invest in the season 2 or make a living. That's just an idea. You know, you don't got to be the last episode. Maybe you get the first 5 for free. You pay for the next 5, however you want to do it. But, you know, it's just an idea I was thinking that would work with today's internet. Let's see. Somebody said, Rashad said, should I outsource producing restaurant commercials until I learn how to produce and edit them? I would shoot the footage myself and advertise myself. I went to school for marketing. But yeah, don't be afraid to outsource anything. Don't be afraid to outsource anything. Jerry Mack say Blackmagic cinema camera or Canon C100 Mark II. Easy choice. Blackmagic pocket cinema camera all day and night. Not even close. The only thing that the C200 offer over the Blackmagic pocket cinema camera, in my opinion, is better audio, better preamps. You still have the ability to go XLR. You get better preamps with the C100. Now, C200 is kind of close. Certain exposures say, I'm glad to see your growth. Hey, I'm still trying to grow. I'm still trying. Prez says how to go about setting up several sub niches. I think FlashFilm has separate websites for different niches. I'm interested in video marketing, corporate shots, and studio headshots. How do I do it? You need to have those, like, say for instance, video marketing and corporate shots could be together because corporate companies usually, you know, they usually do video marketing. You can almost put them on the same site, almost. Studio headshots, unless they're corporate headshots, they can go on that site. Non-corporate headshots need a whole new site. So those 3 can almost work together. Official Ricky Bowden, Bowden. Official Ricky Bowden. Let me pull up his page. Hold up. Let me pull up his page on YouTube so I can show you guys what it is right now. The official Ricky Bowden page. Let me go ahead and pop this thing on over here. Hold up. Let me take this off. Let's get out of here with that. So this is the official Ricky Bowden. This is his page. He was a combat photographer with me. Right now on this page, it's mostly about military life. He got a bunch of great videos on military life. Big shout out to him. That's my guy. And he's getting ready to start another channel strictly on sports. If you watched the video that I did a while back where we were reviewing the A9, A7, A7 R3? We were at the Cowboys game. He was with me. He do a lot of sports. Great channel, great guy. 2,500 subscribers. Go blow him up real quick. There you go for everybody that want to see it. Somebody's like, Ricky who? Pretty Ricky. You can call him Pretty Ricky. We just call him Ricky. No, I'm joking. All right. That's my guy. Somebody said Roderick Henry Bowden. I don't know that guy. I'm getting ready to answer. Where's the super chat at? Where did I pass it? Okay. He said, time decided on my 2 niches are product and car photography. Leave these as 2 companies or have a balloon company to manage both. 2 completely different companies. Car photography, do two completely different companies. Product photography is going to get a whole different niche than car photography. Think about who, and when you go to car photography, you got to be more detailed than that. Are we selling cars? Is it people who own cars that just want pictures of cars? Is it car parts? Is it car shows? I did a lot of car shows. There's a whole lot of car shows that need photography. So which one is it? You gotta dig deeper on that niche right there. Product photography. Are we doing online sales? Are we doing food photography? Are we doing clothing? We're doing fashion? Dig deeper. You gotta get me a multi-layer. You gotta give me a multi-layer niche. When you pop your niche up and you decide what you want to do, don't be vague with it. Be as specific as possible. Don't say sports photography. Say high school lacrosse photography. So make sure that you are that deep into your niche, or you will be blowing money. Matt say recently transitioned from Canon 700D to Sony a6300. Have you had any experience using Metabones adapters so I can still use my Canon lenses on my new Sony body? Love the channel. Yes, when I had a A6500, I used a Metabones adapter and I loved it. Now, however, I don't really use a lot of autofocus, so I can't really speak too much. I did use the autofocus for photography. Worked perfect for me. I don't use a lot of autofocus for video, so I can't speak to it. But the Metabones adapters are a must. And they're a lot cheaper for the Sonys than they are for the Blackmagics. Maybe because everybody's buying the Blackmagic. How do you get your... Pluto said, how do you get your foot in the door for product photography? If you look at the video I shot on Stop Shooting People, it tells you about a hack using Instagram that allows you to get your foot in the door. Just you gotta start creating great content. You gotta go to Instagram, and you got to make sure you tag the company in it. Let me go back to this page because I got a few people asking about it. Check out this page real quick. I'll give you 2 seconds to write that down. Two seconds. Take a 2-second break while y'all check that out. All right. Check, 1 2 1 2. Check. Make sure y'all check that out. Make sure you're good on that. All right, y'all. Let's get to some more questions. Jermaine says, I'm an inspiring photographer, videographer. I want to say that I genuinely appreciate your content. Hey, man, I listen, the greatest thing I get from this channel is comments and people saying, hey, this stuff really helped me. Hey, I can't find this nowhere. Hey, nobody's really talking about this. Hey, I was able to close a deal because of something you said in the video. Like, that is the ultimate, high for me. That is the ultimate high for me. Let me scroll down a little bit, because I want to make sure I got questions. Dwayne, good looking out. I appreciate the super chat. I appreciate the super chat and the support. You asked the question above. Just bought a slider over a pan tilt. Was that a good idea? You can listen. Okay, wait, let me finish it. I need lights. I have strobes. Aperture 120D is on my list. I have an A9, A7, A3, full lens, pack 2, shooting weddings. Okay, let me touch on that real quick. You can't go wrong with a slider, right? Unless you need motorized and all that stuff, you can't go wrong with a slider. You can go the cheap route with a slider. Don't get a homemade one. Don't be at Home Depot making it out of PVC pipe. That's cool for your backyard. It's not cool for a wedding. So instead of Aperture 120Ds, look at Godox's. They're a little bit less pricey, and if you want to get in the game for a little bit less, you can. If you got the money for the 120D, Still get the 120D. Choosing a slider is a better choice over a pan tilt head, over a jib. Jibs come with time, but sliders are everything, especially for weddings. You definitely need a slider. You definitely need a slider. Mr. JD Blanco says, do you have any advice or suggestions for someone that's very passionate about this field, but extremely introverted? Yo, I tell you all the time, your personality is going to be the biggest, baddest, best tool in your bag. You have to be able to communicate and talk to people. You got to be able to do that. You got to be able to do that. Brandon Lee, good looking out on the super chat. What's up, Cliff? He's asking, what am I using for live stream? Quality is fire. I am using the Sling Studio with a Canon C100, the original boy. For audio, I'm using a Sennheiser MKH 416, and that's what I'm using right now. We're gonna start doing a whole lot more live chats. So I'm building the gear based off your feedback and just some of the things we're going through. Real quick, let's see if we got some more questions. Where's another question? Mr. Filmmaking, you got photo, video, photo booth 360, social media content. Okay. Wait. I'm gonna touch on that, Mr. Filmmaker. Jeremy said, "When you truly one of the good ones. I've learned so much in such a short time. Appreciate all you do. Looking forward to the masterclass." Appreciate you, Jeremy. Let me talk about my website, right? Because he listed some things about my website, and I want to make sure I go over them when I go to mine. So my company has been up for a while, right? We have the budget to compete in those areas, in those markets, right? Which is photo, video, 360. 360 we're experimenting with. Social media content is more of a subscription-based service. So we want to get clients that are ongoing clients. That's what we want to do. I don't know if you ever seen my demo reel or the video that explains what my company do, but I'm gonna show it to you if you've seen it, because I want you guys to take a look at it, and I want you, those who got the course, understand it. Those who don't got the course, you'll just see it. So let me let's go right here real quick. As soon as I push play, I'll stop playing. Here we go.
Image is everything. That's why the best way to communicate.
Let me just go through my reel real quick, because a lot of people want to know, why did I start with that, right? Why did I start with that? Because when you see an accident, when you see cars, and that was a real accident that I just happened to pull my drone out on. When you see something like this, it grabs your attention. Everybody's so nosy. They want to know what's going on and why. What is going on? What is this accident? What's they're looking on the screen and they're trying to, they're looking on the screen. They're trying to figure out what's going on. That's why I started with that clip. It's an attention grabber. So it's something that grabs attention, right? Just like the rest of these clips are designed to grab attention and tell stories.
With video and high quality imagery. In a world full of video creators and photographers.
Now, just that quick, with those three companies, with those three shots, I just grabbed the attention of anybody in the medical or dental field, anybody with a dealership, and now these are schools or corporate companies. Just with those three shots, I have your attention now.
There are very few content creators that understand how to create content that not only tells your story.
Behind the scenes footage, right? I showed you guys, if you got the course, it talks about the importance of it, and then it talks about the next clip,
but it's designed to
which is the actual shot to see what it looks like. The course explains the importance of showing the project coming together for the client so that they can understand that you are the guy to do it.
To your audience, to increase engagement, promote
drone capabilities. This right here is brand recognition with the company.
Call to action with maximum ROI. FlashFilm Media was founded by.
And that right there, if you look at that first shot was a garbage dump. It was a shot we did with a garbage dump, and now you got a little military
Army combat
stuff.
content creators with a background in psychological operations. Based out of a special operation command, our journey started under harsh conditions with demanding deadlines. During our time in service, we worked
Some slow
alongside our
motion,
nation's
6130
past two
stuff.
presidents, as well as multiple
Actual
high-ranking
photos.
government officials.
Now, remember I said in the last video, I use both presidents' photos because whatever side you're on, whoever you love or hate, you got both. I didn't want to just leave one and then you just hate me or you just love me, but both helps you not pick a side.
Creating content at the highest level. We took our
Equal amount
experience
of
and
images of
transition
both. You see, I did 4 pictures of each for a reason.
into the commercial sector, becoming one of the most trusted production
2 pictures of
companies
each
in
for a
the
reason.
DF.
This shows local social proof. This is one of the mayors in the city that's in the area. That's local social proof. So clients can see what we're doing, why we're doing, who we're working with.
W area. Our client list is a great example of our ability to create gripping.
Also, we get to show clients that we work with, where we've been featured. And this list got to be updated because it's probably triple that by now. It's more companies than I can probably fit on the screen.
Content for the purpose of training, communication, event capture, promotional, and even testimonial content, consistently offering the best value in the market.
Notice I didn't say cheap. I said best value. Reassuringly expensive. We're not cheap, but we offer great value compared to spending $300,000 for some big company to come shoot it.
We live a one-word creed. Flexecute.
More social proof being, backstage at a airport. You know what I'm saying? Backstage to the airport, social proof, show that we have access.
That's
Both
the
sides
ability
pay.
to be
You're right,
flexible
Ice
and execute projects with great attention to detail, providing unmatched success rates with the parameters of your budget and deadline. From the photo side of things, we produce stunning.
In Dallas, social proof is everything. Capture the crazy picture, bunch of logos and brands you recognize. It's more social proof.
Imagery, from eye-popping company headshots to
Before and
product
after
photography,
headshots.
unrivaled
Product
by our
photography.
competition. We offer magazine-level corporate event photography, designed to not only tell the story of your event, but capture the moment. We provide commercial photography tailored to the culture of your brand, specifically targeted for social media marketing. If video is what you need, we
More
offer
behind-the-scenes
unmatched
shots.
value. Bring us the idea and our team of multimedia directors, instructional designers, and copywriters will provide a fast turnkey solution from the beginning to the end. We also provide course and concept design, script writing, location scouting, on-screen talent acquisition, props, makeup, and wardrobe, down to the color palette of your brand. We provide highlight, explainer, and communication videos that reflect the tone of your brand. We also produce engaging testimonial and interview style productions intended for your target audience. When your image is on the line, there's only one company to trust. FlashFilm Media.
So again, that shows you just some of the things we do, just to give you an idea of what my reel look like. Because a lot of people ask, like, what do you do? What have you shot? Blah, 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 blah. And I want to make sure you guys can see what works for me. Now, it may not work for you. Let me go back to this site because it may not work for you. However, it may. My site is straight to the point. Don't have a lot of information on it. Don't want to overload people. This is why you should trust us. This is why we're good at what we do. And this is just information about who we've worked with. Now, when you decide on what you want, then we go into more detail. But again, when I started out, I dominated my 3 niches, and then they grew to the point where I can afford to market to all of them. This is my website. Quick information on getting in contact with me again. More social proof. Quick pop-up, just showing you how simple we make it. And then, let me show you that's my portfolio when it comes to photography. Because I got about 8 photos for every job that we list that we do. Some of them you've seen already. So, again, it's something to think about as you build. And you got to keep in mind, my site is a senior version. You know what I'm saying? You got to start with the junior version so you can dominate and make money and grow it. I am where Coca-Cola is, where they got a bunch of different drinks, but they started with just Coca-Cola and they built it with just Coca-Cola. And that's something you got to think about as you build your brand. How would I recommend going to find your profitable niche? It got to be something you love. It got to be something you love. Liberal Zero said Raising Cane's is delicious. It is delicious. I eat for free every time we shoot. I eat till I pass out. what did, you said, wait. Somebody said, it's cold, baby. Is about to quit this demo reel is top. He said, I'm just about to quit. The demo reel is top notch. Flying Ryan said, I need a video like this for my drone work. Again, in the course that we sell, the 5 key steps for creating a portfolio that converts, show you how to make a commercial like that. I'm telling you, think about it like this. If me and you are competing for a job with a client, right? And you're giving the client, you're saying we can do it for $2,000. I'm saying we can do it for $4,500. And you send a demo reel with just clips on it. That's just clips. And I send that. Who you think will get the job? Me or you? I'm gonna beat you every time. I'm trying to see if I got. I'm trying to see if I can find just an old reel that I have to show you where I came from, just so you guys can have an idea of where I came from and what I thought was acceptable. Here's a 2015 demo reel. Let's see if I can show that. Let me see if I can pull that up here. Give me a second. Are all of the clips your work or stock video? That Adrian asks, all of those were 100% clips that we captured. 100%. So I'm gonna show you my old demo reel, right? And business multiplied by 10 coming from the reel I'm going to show you to the reel that I have now. Voiceover I got done at Fiverr. So let me show you the demo reel real quick. So this is the demo reel that I used to have. This is 2015.
Case, you think this was gonna be your way out?
I actually should never have included short film. It just don't appeal to my audience. But there were dope looking clips. They look good. Even though people got shot up in them. Let me show you something real quick. So, just real briefly, don't try this at home. That shot right there is an illegal shot. The FAA have already been in their office to talk to them about it. There was an air show going on. There was some fireworks. It's nighttime. I'd already been in the office with the FAA talking about that. And thank God I had some people in the military who still worked in DC to help me with that. But I'm not going to get into too much detail, but that's an illegal shot. Footage has been pulled out. These are the shots that I had. That's working with Scion. That's working with TGI Fridays. That's an illegal shot. That's more Scion. They were testing other cars versus their cars. They're Scions at the time. But this is the reel that I used to have. Just a bunch of dope shots. Companies that I work with. That's a good shot if a company's looking for a time lapse, but you know.
Facebook and Twitter called Jump Burger.
Bunch of great shots.
Never been done
if you're looking to create a training video, but it wasn't the right thing. It wasn't a commercial. It didn't make you want to buy from me. It didn't make you want to call me. It was just a bunch of shots. And that's what most people's portfolio is right now. Just a bunch of shots. Just a bunch of good shots. That's a good shot. That's a good shot. Nice smile. Blah, blah, blah. Good shot.
From the moment you walk in the door, we're gonna teach you how to do Scrum.
So going from this to the one I just showed, look, it goes straight to the logo. So going from this to the one I showed you was just a night and day difference when it came to my ability to close sales, my ability, once I got in front of clients, it was just a night and day difference. It was a complete, like, pockets went from hurting to just a whole nother level, simply by creating a commercial for myself and not just my best shots to music. I had 3 demo reels in my life, and the first 2 were like that, and business was okay. People would call me, some people would do business with me, but when I got to the last one, it was a game changer. And so I can imagine if you are doing that and you decide to, it's based off your niche, things will blow up for you. All right, let's see. So yeah, don't quit. You just gotta know how to build it, and you gotta know how to go after the audience. You gotta know how to be successful, man. There are some things that you're probably doing wrong that if you change and tweak, you can definitely do right. My thoughts on vertical video shooting, X. I'm not crazy about it because I don't do a lot with the Instagram platform, and that's just me. However, if I have a client that wants to create something for Instagram, then I'm all for it. Definitely the way to go. How far into shooting career do you recommend having a reel? Should you have a reel if you're only 6 months in? Yes, because you can shoot enough stuff in 2 weeks to build a reel if you choose to. You shouldn't even be charging people until you have a dope reel. You're going to get burnt out thinking nobody wants to buy from you if you don't have a website and a dope demo reel. Period. You need to have a website and your portfolio / demo reel together before you even start to thinking that people want to pay you. Because a lot of you guys get in this industry and you're not making money and you don't know why and you think you're good, but you suck at expressing your capabilities to clients. They don't get it. Your demo reel and your website should do that for you. If you got to go in there and you got to pitch who you are, it's not gonna matter. It's not gonna matter. How hard am I pushing SEO for your company? Safe House Studios. SEO is gonna be your best form of marketing. It's gonna be your best form of marketing. Flying Ryan say night and day, fam. It is exactly night and day. Pockets went from night and day. Car went from night and day. Girlfriends went from night and day with a portfolio. Demo reels for each niche? Yes, because you should have different sites if they're completely different. If your niches are together, then you can kind of squeeze them in the demo reel. But if you're doing one in dog photography and one in sports photography, 2 different demo reels. 2 different demo reels. Let's see. Aspiring videographer, Clifford says, aspiring videographer filmed a conference last year, no longer going to get paid what I thought, but the work is good and I want to get better. Still producing it with no guarantee of payment. Nope, I'm not doing it unless I'm doing it to create a demo reel. Unless it's a big conference with names that will help my demo reel. I'm not doing it. Check the text. Say glad he caught the stream. Good looking out on the super chat. First off, he said, I watched the Monday stream already. Thanks for the content. Super helpful. I'm going to start to get with a schedule real soon. Right now, I'm just working out kinks and just enjoying how the flow of everything is. But trust me, we're going to get on a weekly thing, maybe multiple streams per week. Definitely. OK says it's amazing that people think that they have a business just posted on IG with no website or plan. I got a video coming that's talking about business plans. Stay tuned for that. However, OK, you are exactly right. So many people want to just post on Instagram. They think if I get 20 followers and I post something about my business, I'm a sell. Most of your followers don't even care about what you're posting. They're your cousins. So they're not going to buy from you. You cannot only post on your Instagram or Facebook and think that you're going to reach enough people to make a living. You have to market. And if you're spending money to market and you're bringing them back to crap, you just wasted money. Imagine if you had a burger shop, right? And you make a burger that's trash. Your burger is absolutely trash. It tastes like crap. And you spend $1 million bringing people into the store. And each of them take a bite of that burger and they're like, can I get a refund? Can I get a refund? Or they finish it and they don't write a good review. They write a bad review. You've just wasted $1 million. So you got to focus on making sure the burger's dope. You got to make sure the burger is dope. You got to make sure that the signage in the building looks great and the building itself looks great. So when they walk in the building and they see how nice this place is, and they get their burger and taste it, that customer keeps working for you. They keeps talking about how great it is. They leave you a great review. They refer it to their friends, right? What a lot of you guys are doing with Instagram is you're putting out a TV dinner that everybody else can go buy. You're sprinkling a little extra seasoning salt on it, thinking it's something special, and you're either sitting it out front in hopes that the smell of a TV dinner is going to bring people in your business, or you're telling your family about this TV dinner you got in hopes that it's going to bring you money, and it's not. And when they do struggle to bring somebody in that lowball you for this TV dinner, they only eat the apple parts or the brownie and leave the rest, like most people do with TV dinners. And you don't hear from them, and it's trash, and you get lowballed. So you guys are doing it wrong. Build the burger. Make sure perfect the burger at home. Get the burger right? Then you go get the location. Spend the money in the location. So perfect the portfolio. Perfect what you're doing as far as photography or videography, right? Get something that tastes good. Then go get a place to house it. Get a good website. Make sure the portfolio is popping. Then market it. If you do it in different orders, you will not have success. Or what a lot of people do is you may have a burger that's okay. Now you spent $2 million to get 10 people, where if your burger was dope and the facility was dope, you could have spent $10 and got 20 people. You're spinning your wheels. You're not as effective as you need to be, or as efficient as you need to be. And a lot of people don't understand that. They just think, well, it's business to spend $1 million and get 10 people. You know, it's business. No, it's not. You can spend $10 and get 1,000 people if you have the right product and it's in the right facility to attract people that's walking by. You know what I'm saying? So you guys are just backwards sometimes. You're expecting a lot and you're not putting in the effort or the mental grind that it takes to take your business to the next level. Did I edit the reel, or did I hire someone with the new one? I edited that reel. I did everything but the voiceover. I even wrote all the text. I wrote it line for line, and I said it out loud for 20 times until I felt like it was what I wanted. Somebody said, I love it on IG. I got a short version that's 60 seconds for IG. But IG needs to be IG is just a stunt a little bit. Don't put everything in IG. It's not going to make you a lot of money. Flying Ryan again, he say, for RN, my demo reel is my current work, my last client with a Ferrari. It needs to, when you see the course, it'll tell you got to make it a commercial. They got to make it a commercial. Red Base Media say, hey, Ty, I love your videos. Question, would you add photos from both fashion photography and concert photography, or would you consider two different niches? Completely two different. It's just different, unless you got like a run. What is it? What was the show they had where it was like Rock the Runway or something, where it was a concert with fashion? That would be that would be a case where you can use both. However, I wouldn't know. What would you do if Jordan asks, what would you do? I'm gonna ask you a question, Mark Smith. I see you. What would you do if you and your family moved to a new city and you had to find a new client? Oh man, I've done it before. I've done it in Dallas. I would cater my website to my niches, and I would market to people who was in that. It's the same thing everywhere. If you got it, like I said, dog photography, it's easy to find dog lovers everywhere. It's easy. Is there a PetSmart? You can look on Google Maps right now and see how far you are from a dog store, because some companies spent millions to be places where there are pets, right? A lot of companies in that area spend a lot of money, especially retail. They do a lot of market research to see, hey, if I open a pool company to sell pool supplies, how many people got pools in this area? Is it enough for me to be sustainable? Yeah, they figured that they spent millions figuring it out. Then they open a pool place and boom, it looked like, they're just doing good. And they're doing good because they set up, they plan for success. So when you go in the area, your niche may change. It may not. Look at what's popping in that area and then tailor it to that. But I guarantee you it's a dentist everywhere you go. There's a hospital everywhere you go. There's a restaurant everywhere you go. There's a plumber everywhere. There's a tree trimming business and roofing company everywhere you go. So if you build something to go after those subcontractors or those contractors, you can't go wrong. I mean, roofing is a huge, if you got a drone and you're not doing roof inspections, you know, I had a roofing company send me a letter with a picture of my roof already on it. And they probably just sent somebody that just flew down the street and just took a picture, and they sent me a letter that had my roof on it. And they circled stuff that looked like damage areas or like heat. It was like a heat sensing drone. Man, that's brilliant. That'll make you call them up. Like, gosh, nobody done that. Let me call you up. You got to be unique with it. Jordan asks, Mark Smith asks, how are you getting in front of people to have a sales conversation around video? I'm placing my demo reel in front of them via marketing. So they don't have a choice. They're like, who is this? The goal is not, I said in another video, the goal is not to run up on every woman you like. The goal is to present yourself to attract every woman you like. You'll get dissed if you run up on every, hey, let me holler at you. Hey. Nope. I'm going to get a Ferrari and a Rolex, and I'm going to sit outside the club like this. And they're going to come to me. Do that with your business. Build your brand and then get in front of people who are hungry for what you do and let them come to you. That's what was great about Yellow Pages, right? Yellow Page marketing only, if you paid to be the top guy in plumbing in Yellow Pages, it was because you were in front of people who had a pipe burst and they need to call somebody now. Your brand needs to be there. Your brand needs to be in front of people who need senior photography now. And you got to build it. You got to build that facility and have that good burger, and then you can know what your target audience is and know where to go. That's how you build it. Tiny said they use Proposify for the first time based on my recommendation. It's fire. Yes, Proposify is the truth. Go click on the link in the description. I think it's like 10%. Proposify is, there's nothing better than sending off a proposal to a company and you getting the email back saying that they've opened it. And then you can go to it live and see what they're looking at. And if they're looking at something and they're like, you can just call them like, hey, wondering if you got the proposal. Oh, yeah, I'm looking at it right now. How ironic. Oh, let's go over it. What questions do you have? I was thinking this, that, blah, blah. Right then and there, you can close the sale. That takes the guesswork out. That makes it real easy. Proposify is something you probably never heard of or thought of, but if you're sending out 2, 3, 4 proposals a month, bro, it's worth it. You said, don't nobody want a TV dinner. You're right. Safe House Studio said, I got a roofing client that has a crazy amount of work for us. Roofing clients are dope because I had a roofing client and we would set up GoPros to do time lapses and just leave them and just go do something else. Come back, edit the time lapse. Boom, they were happy. They were happy. Bleed say, I live in a town with a population of 75,000. However, there are 2 news stations that provide video services. How do I convince people with no set budget to go with me instead of them? If they're going with a news station, they got a budget. News stations are hella expensive. They got a budget. And news stations, let me tell you, their cameramen are boring as hell. You ever see B-roll from a news station? It is boring as hell. You can beat them on creativity alone. And you probably can beat them on pricing because you're not showing up with 6 vans with satellites on them and you don't got all that overhead. So you can probably tear them out of the water on both creativity and on pricing. News station footage is the worst overexposed, shaky, shoulder-mounted trash ever. You can beat the brakes off them. I wish somebody would challenge my ability to shoot from a news station. Those guys been regular cameramen for 30 years, and all they know is this. All they doing is panning with their shoulder and like, boy, I go ham in that city. Where is it at? Send me the zip code. I'm coming. How do you convince them to have a budget? You also said, if they're serious about doing this, they got a budget. You don't go into a grocery store unless you got money in your pocket to buy. They got a budget. You haven't shown enough value with your brand to show them that you're capable of doing what they need. That's it. They got a budget. Trust me, they got a budget. You just got to do better at showing value. This is why you should go with us. You got to offer the solution. You haven't offered the solution. You just said we can do what they do. You got to say, you got to offer the solution. That's why your demo reel is important, to show the solution. Behind the scenes, your website is important to offer that solution. You're not offering a solution. You're just saying, we can do that too. And they're like, okay, but they've been doing it. We know who they are. We're going to go with them because we don't know who you are. Your website say Wix. You got a Gmail account. I ain't about to give you $20,000 so you can run off on the plug. You can run off with my money. It's not happening. You're not selling value. You're just saying we can do it. People don't hear you. They don't trust you when you say that. They don't hear you. You got to show people. When it comes to content, and it's a subjective thing. Like video what's dope to you may not be dope to me, right? So you got to show them your capabilities so they can spend money. They're not gonna spend money based off you. I got this camera. Hey man, I got this camera. I can shoot it. Nah, bro, I need to see a whole lot of footage specifically on what I need from you. That's why the demo reel is important. That's why we say in the course on creating an effective portfolio, that's why we say show behind the scenes footage. Show you working on with the camera and you all doing this, and they see the person in front of the camera and you pan, and then we show the clip of it being completed and they know you did it. That's why that's important. That shows instant value. They showed up and actually shot this. This ain't no stock footage. You actually shot it. That gives you instant credibility. Wayne, sorry for making you wait. Hey, I want to appreciate the super chat. Wayne Anthony Media says, in wedding biz, how many weddings do you recommend shooting before you start charging higher rates? What do you recommend charging if you got 5 to 6, but multiple as a second shooter? It didn't matter how many second shooters you got, bro. If you got a mean portfolio, this is the thing, the key with wedding photography, right? When you build your portfolio, go shoot the most lavish, extravagant weddings you can, right? I'm gonna give you a quick tip. Try to shoot Indian weddings. Indian weddings are off the hook. It's like a week-long event. They're usually dressed in they look like princes and princesses on Indian weddings, right? I shot an Indian wedding and I was blown away at just the level of detail they went through for that wedding. They look extravagant. Most times they are, but just the clothing and attire was just extravagant. They had like a 12-layer cake and, you know what I'm saying? It was beautiful. You shoot weddings like that and that's in your portfolio, your rates will go up because you look like you're shooting photography. You're shooting wedding photography for princes and kings and stuff. So go after the extravagant weddings for free. Go look at venues in your area that cost the most and find out who's booking it. Find out what event planner is booking it. Contact that event planner and say, hey, I want to shoot for free at your next upcoming wedding. If you find a really expensive event planner and with the event planning service, they can offer free photography along with the photographer you choose, that makes them look better. Now you got a partner for life. It's always a way in through the back if you know where who your market is. Go shoot an Indian wedding. You'll be blown away. I shot an Indian wedding and my rates went up because people were like, wow. I mean, they had horses and it was just glitter everywhere. It was beautiful. Go shoot a high-end wedding. Go look at some high-end venues that you just people are really paying $20,000 to rent this place for a day. What? Go shoot there. Ask the venue owner. Tell a venue owner, hey, I'll give you some dope shots of your venue that you can use for free. All you got to do is ask the bride and groom, can I take some pictures with their, boom, you in the door. Barter your way in. It works, trust me. Lee James Young said, would it be okay to create shots just for demo reels on top of work you've done to make money or make it more tailored to the work you're seeking? Yes. Yeah. Heck yeah. Go for it. Go for it. Mr. Filmmaker say, hey, Ty, just remember that that not every good deed goes unpunished. He's seen one of my short films. You're absolutely correct, bro. You're absolutely correct. Let's see. When do you know you're working too much? That's a good question. When you can't pay your bills and you still got to go to work. That's when you know you're working too much. That means you're working harder and not smart. Listen, this is an industry where you should be working smarter, not harder. I used to work 40, 50 hours a week, right? It's because I wasn't charging the right amount. I wasn't investing in my brand. I wasn't investing in my knowledge. I wasn't showing value, right? So now I got a happy medium where I don't work 40 hours a week. I sleep in a lot. I take my kids to school. I make sure I have weekends available to go feed the ducks with my son. I got my kid, I spend whole days with him. That's what's important to me. I work smarter. I don't work harder. I'm not doing a bunch of $200 jobs. It's just, I'm not doing it. I've built a brand to the point where I can bring in big paying jobs that are where I don't have to slave every day. You shouldn't have to. If you focus on, people who slave every day is people who focus on cameras, lenses, and taking pictures and all of that. People who are smart focus on marketing, right? I'll give you an example. Jordan right now, they haven't come out with a new shoe that you want. They've done a great job at marketing the old shoes. That's why they got you buying retro 8s and stuff. They're not coming out with it. You don't care. There hasn't been a shoe released by Jordan that's been a completely new design in 20 years because they understand that marketing is where it's at. And as long as I can get a supply and demand and drop this old shoe with a new stripe on it every 8 years, people are going to buy it out. You're working harder, not smarter. You got to work smarter. Got to work smarter. You got to get, Mr. Film would say, tell these young whippersnappers the best outlet for paid advertising to gain clients is Facebook, IG, YouTube, print and media, radio. Facebook is going to be really good because you can get in front of people. You can get in front of people. You can get in front of the people that are specifically in your niche. But one of the most key things I've ever said is nobody will hire you to effectively shoot their story if you cannot tell your story. Period. It's not going to happen. You're not going to get a fat personal trainer. You're not going to go with a fat personal trainer. You're going to be like, I don't know. You're not going to go to a barber that got bad hair. You're not going to hire a maid with a dirty house. It's not going to happen. So how are you going to hire a photography company that don't got a demo reel, that can't sell themselves? How am I going to bring you in to help me make money with my brand and you can't sell yourself? What do I look like? I will lowball you just to see, but I'm not going to break the bank with you because you didn't do a good job at selling you. Nah, bruh. I'm not about to, you know what I'm saying? You're not going to hire the fat personal trainer, the 600-pound personal that's eating, like, yo, pick up that dumbbell over there. You're going to be like, bruh, if you don't get out of my face with that. Cocky TV say, I'm looking to upgrade my Mac system. What computer setup do you use to edit? An old 5K iMac from 2015 with upgraded RAM and solid state external drives that works absolutely fine. Real talk. I'm not going to tell you to go spend 20 grand on a computer. If you got it, do it. But you don't need the latest and greatest. Unless people always say, I want to shoot 10-bit, 2 terabyte per second bit rate, blah, blah, blah. And then you handing over a 200 meg, 90-second video to your client. You just killed your whole computer trying to record at a level you will never deliver to your client. I want 4K with 4220, 16-bit rate raw. You never even handing that to your client. You just feel good about look at this. I could take the exposure from 0 to 1,000 and back to 0 because I'm in 2020. Your client don't care. You just did it to feel good about yourself. Learn how to expose the image correctly in the camera. 8-bit ain't a problem if you know how to expose it correctly in the camera. You need 10-bit or 4K to crop in because you trash at filming. That's it. Because you're not good at, okay, 4K crop, I kind of like that. I can't say that. But you need all this extra stuff because you haven't invested in this. You want the camera to do the work. You haven't invested in that. You want to leave it up to the camera and fix it later. Just in case I go, you don't need RAW if you shoot it right in camera. I'm not saying it didn't have its perks. I'm not saying it's not useful. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that with an 8-bit DSLR, you can change the game if you understand lighting and how to expose correctly. How many of you own light meters? I'll wait. Everybody that own a light meter, say I in the comments. Everybody that own a light meter, say I. And I rest my case. Because if you're talking about 10-bit, 4-bit, 4K, I need ProRes, RAW, blah, blah, and you don't own a light meter, you're going off the light meter in your DSLR, you're not even looking at waveforms or nothing like that, that is why your video is not looking like you think it should look. How many of you own an X-Rite color checker? How many of you own a gray card? Post if you own that in the comments. Because if you don't own that and you're trying to kick butt on video, that's your problem. You don't need a new camera or new lenses. You need to master what you got. 10-bit is nice. I agree. But a lot of you guys aren't doing what you aren't putting in the time, the effort, the work in learning how to use your tools and take advantage of your tools. You think it's just gear. You will not make it. The iPhone is getting you guys. The iPhone is coming to take your job because the iPhone has algorithms and stuff to figure out the correct lighting and correct white balance. You're not going to make it. You know, I'm sorry. Anyway, let's go to the next one. I rent color checkers. Filmmaker, Mr. Filmmaker, yeah. I'll rent them out too. I see a lot of people that they talking about moving from DSLRs to cinema cameras and don't own a light meter. What? Like, you don't own okay. Will it get better? Yo, you can, if you had a light meter and you're shooting an S-Log and you understand where skin tones, man, you would take over the game with your camera. If you had an X-Rite color, I got one. Where's my X-Rite? Stay here. Let me get it. I keep it right here. This is what you need. They're a little expensive. Could be $100. That is what you need. You need to be placing this in front of everybody you shoot in front of. Just like this. I get people trying to do all like this and covering up my doggone colors. You need to be just like this. This little thing, this little piece of paper right here will change your video quality and make your skin tones pop, especially if you're using DaVinci Resolve. It's a little bitty thing. Those are things you need to know about when we look to hire and bring on, filmers or not filmers, camera guys or DPs. If they don't know about stuff like this, we ain't got nothing to talk about. Have a nice day. Have a nice day. No gray card, none of that. Have a nice day. I can't help you. So you gotta do more up here before you start talking gear and stuff like that. I want to see all them light meters and color checkers, gray cards. You gotta have all of that. I see people with clappers and you don't even need that no more. They're slates. They doing slates and don't got a color checker. Don't even know how to use the colors on the slate. You gotta do more up here. That's where your biggest upgrade needs to happen is this. Not gear. Not gear. iPhones will be taking jobs. Driver's line, did I miss your question? I didn't see your question. My bad. I can't even go back and I got 1,000 questions. You might have to say it again. Somebody said I got a white card. A white card works. You can white balance with that. I'll take a white card. You can't, listen, it's funny how people can say they don't trust the monitor on my monitor on the back of my A7 is not the greatest. You're right. Your waveforms and your light meter ain't the greatest in that thing either. So you know what I'm saying? You have to master the exposure right. You gotta have the tools in place to get that stuff right. You can kick butt with an 8-bit camera. Stop letting them fool you with all these terminologies and crap to make you go out here and spend money on more gear. You can go get a 5D Mark II right now and kill the game. You can go get a 5D Mark II right now and kill the game. They were shooting movies with 5D Mark IIs. Movies. You can kill a game. All right. How many people know how to calibrate your monitor? How often do you calibrate your monitor? Because when you're shooting product photography, people want their colors to be, the right color. They want them to be exact. They want them to be accurate. If you got a laptop or a monitor that you bought and you've never calibrated it, you're a part of the problem. You got to learn about that stuff. You got to make sure that you are working smarter and not harder. And those are things that learning is going to help. You can buy all the gear in the world. If you don't calibrate a brand new monitor, your green's going to look whatever color, they come from the monitor. They're not going to be right. I have to calibrate my my Apple monitor, my iMac monitor. It started off perfect, but it ain't perfect no more. Those are things you got to do. Yeah, David says, so why are my colors more contrasty in Premiere Pro on my iMac 5 and it exports so differently than it looks in Premiere Pro? Got to calibrate that monitor. Because monitors usually go into different settings for different editing. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's usually jumping to different settings. You got to calibrate that monitor. That's the first thing you got to do. First thing you got to do. What do I use for graphics? I like a lot of pre-made graphics. Sometimes I do graphics on my own, but I like to create things in Photoshop and then animate them using like After Effects. I don't do a lot of that no more. It's something that is like, clients don't really care. They don't really care for something super unique. And if so, I'll outsource just that one animation, or I'll just spend money and get, just graphics. I haven't had a client, very rarely do I get a client that says, I don't like the lower third. I got 1,000 lower thirds to go through that I'll try and see what you like. I don't have to go spend 3 hours creating something all the time. Spider 5 Pro with display cal Spider 5 is a calibrator that's like $99, $100, $150. If you look at the videos about good Christmas products for videographers around $100, you'll see it in that video. Somebody said my monitor keep turning red with the calibrator. I hope you're not colorblind, bro. Have somebody else look at that. Could be your eyes. A lot of people realize they're colorblind when they do calibrations. Clifford say, what's up, Ty? I got the T2i. Next purchase is X-Rite color checker, key light, background lights. What's the most important? Lighting is the most important. Want to get you an X-Rite checker? Go get you some Godox lights, man, and kill a game. Somebody said I'm colorblind. Color scopes are lifesaver. Yep. Color scopes if you're colorblind, the X-Rite color checker will be the perfect, because you can line it up and you can expose and everything off of the X-Rite color checker. That's the way to go. Where do I get my graphics for training videos? I like to download a lot from like, Pixel Film. A lot of those guys got a lot of stuff for Final Cut Pro. Can I do a tutorial on how I'm using Sling Studio to do this? So Sling Studio allows you to stream live. So I can actually see my screen here. Let me see if I can pop that out. That's what I'm using to switch, right? So now I'm going to switch back to the 30% off. Boom. It's coming off my Sling Studio, which is right here. And I have my camera going into it. I have my laptop connected to one of the wireless ports here. That battery's about to die because I'm recording way too long. And then I can switch to that HDMI port. So that gives you a quick setup. My microphone is going through my camera because I'm using the C100 built-in mics. PAL, PAL or NTSC for DSLRs, DCT 5050X. It depends what part of the world you're in. Here in North America, we use NTSC. UK use PAL. That's just a standard based off where you are. Somebody said, Flying Ryan said, I think my eyes are a tad off. They could be. Hey, they could be. That's why you need these tools to make. You do not want to eyeball it and get home and realize it's jacked. Use every tool you can to get it right the first time. Just got a MacBook Pro. Where do I start? Go get your MacBook Pro. Usually are good from the factory. Apple is one of the only companies that calibrate monitors directly from the factory. Start with RAM. Make sure that boy got RAM. If you got a new one, you can't add RAM. It's soldered. You're screwed. Trust me, I know. Let's see. How do I feel about the Fujifilm X-T3 for photography and videography, it'll get the job done. It'll definitely get the job done. Hold up, let me get out of this. Yeah, it'll definitely get the job done. Anything that's available right now will just about get the job done. X-Rite Color Checker Classic card at B&H for $80. Yes, that piece of paper. That piece of paper right here costs $80, but it'll take your junk to the next level, especially if you're using DaVinci Resolve. DaVinci Resolve has a quick tool that lets you, once you hold it up, you can place this tool over it and it'll instantly change your colors or correct your colors based off that chart. It's pretty dope. So how would you use the color charts? And I just kind of explained it but the color charts, depending on certain color grading software you use, once you hold it up, it'll look at the color on the screen and change it to what it should be, because it's used to using these colors in this order, and it know that black needs to be what it needs to be, white needs to be what it needs to be. In fact, you got to change these out every 3 to 4 years because they tend to fade. This is a January 2014 edition. I bought it about 3 years ago. So it's about time for me to update this one. But what happens is video editing softwares that have built-in, you can use droplets, or some just highlight the whole area and change everything. But you can, the colors, the goal of this is to make sure your footage is accurate, because these colors are very color accurate. So if I'm holding this up with this type of lighting and this yellow is not as bright as it's supposed to be, or the right color, it'll change it based off this chart. DaVinci Resolve makes it super easy. Super easy. Plus, you can pull white balance off that. You got a gray card. You can pull a few different things. Best lighting setup for corporate videography. Depends what you're doing. Or corporate photography. I like 8200s. I like 8200s. Okay, you can get the chart from Amazon. If you look on the video that I had, best Christmas gifts for videographers under $100, there's a link there for Amazon. Let me see. So before I film every clip, should I hold this in front of the camera, Flying Ryan? Every scene. So if you're setting up in a room and you got your lighting set up, you want to take a picture of that, then film everything there. And when you move somewhere different, even if you're using a drone, you take off with your drone and the daylight is a certain temperature and you just hold it for a few seconds, get a close up, and then fly off and do your thing, you'll get very accurate colors. And it helps with color correction. There's a difference between color grading and color correction. Color correction is to take your footage from what the camera think is right to what is actually right and accurate to your current lighting. And then color correction or color grading is to add your touch to it and being creative with it. So right now I got a daytime running light that's running supposedly at 5600 Kelvin. With that X-Rite, it'll determine what exactly is it running at. Because a lot of lights don't run at exactly 5600. They may be running at 5623 or 5582 or 54. You know what I'm saying? It may be running somewhere in between. This X-Rite checker will get the exact number so that your editing software can change the color to be very accurate. Has Premiere Pro been crashing for you? I don't use it as much because all it did was crash. Chris Cocker say DaVinci Resolve is trash. No, sir. You must be using like 9. No, sir. DaVinci Resolve is the truth. Ty, you shouldn't touch the colors. You're right. It's time for me to upgrade on that one. That one's old. I'm not supposed to touch the colors because you don't want to get the grease from your hands to mess it up. I totally messed that up. I didn't think you guys were going to catch it. All right. We're about to get ready to wrap it up because it's been 2 hours. And everybody live loved the videos for 2 hours, but people who go back and watch them be cussing me out. 2 hours. So I'm gonna answer about 2 more questions, and we're gonna go ahead and wrap this thing up. Appreciate you, Irvin. Premiere Pro versus Final Cut Pro. For me, I like the magnetic timeline. Final Cut Pro is the king right now when it comes to editing. DaVinci is the king when it comes to effects. When it comes to color grading, and Adobe is the king when it comes to effects due to After Effects. But Fusion is catching it. Fusion is catching it. All right, guys. Real quick, we talked a lot about portfolios, which we do a lot because a lot of people who are wanting to get into business, that's something that they miss. I cannot stress to you that. I don't want, if you're asking me why am I not selling clients, why am I not getting money, blah, 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 and your website is trash and your portfolio is trash, I mean, those are the things I can't keep. Those are things that got to be addressed. I don't care what type of car you got. I don't care what type of motor you got. You're not going to win the race if your tires are trash. Your portfolio on your website is your tires and your brakes. Everything else is cool, but if your tires is trash, you can have 1,000 horsepower. It's not getting to the ground. It doesn't matter. Last question. Wings, bone in or bone out? I like bone in. Have I used SmugMug before? If so, do you recommend it as a main site? No, definitely not. It can be a component of a site, but not a main site. I like I said, I like Shootproof better. That's just me. I used SmugMug for about 2 years, used Flickr for about 2 years, been using Shootproof for about 4. I like Shootproof. That's just my thing. One last question before I go. Who else got a good question? Could I edit my live videos description after the fact with what was spoken of where? It doesn't have to be super detailed, just good enough to skip through. When my channel gets to the point where I can hire somebody to do that, I will definitely do that, bro. But I cannot promise you that I would do that now because I got like 4 more videos to record for you guys tonight that'll be coming out over the next week. The goal is to grow the channel, right? I make a living from FlashFilm Media, not from FlashFilm Academy yet. When FlashFilm Academy gets to the point where I can continue to invest in it, then I can do cool things like that. But right now, it's just not possible yet. All right. I will try to stick to Wednesdays. We got some stuff coming up. I'm going to try to make sure you guys have an advance notice on when we go live, why we go live, where we're going live. Make sure you guys follow me on Instagram at FlashFilm Academy because a lot of times I go live on there and tell you I'm going live on here because it pops up and you get better notifications. And it's from my phone, so I don't got to go and set up all of this. If you guys got more questions, make sure you're a member of our Facebook page as well, FlashFilm Academy. You can post questions on there. I like to pull a lot of questions from there to get it ready for the live session, but we're probably going to do 2 to 3 live sessions a week. We just have to set up a date and time and make sure I work my schedule and regular shoot schedule around the live session. All right, guys. If you have any questions, post them in the comment below. And I will see you guys in the next video. Y'all have fun, man. Shoot something. Shoot something dope. Get those websites together. Get those demo reels together because I'm going to be asking you for links real soon so we can tear into them and see, what's going on. All right, guys. Do me a favor. Hey, live videos don't trend well. They just don't trend well. So if you get a chance to share it, hit that thumbs up, post a comment, and I will see you guys in the next video. Definitely. See you later.